A native of Fayetteville, Georgia, Taylor's Gator career offered a glimpse of what was to come for one of the most decorated athletes to ever step foot on UF's campus. He soared as the nation's top-ranked triple jumper, winning 4 individual national titles and 2 team titles during his orange and blue career. But Taylor was far from finished. As he embarked on an international career that has taken him around the globe, Taylor blossomed into one of the most accomplished performers of his generation on the Olympic stage. Taylor won gold medals in the triple jump at the 2012 London Games and 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. Taylor's rise to the top of the world stage started young, but while at UF, he redefined what was possible through hard work, talent, and the direction of Gators head coach Mike Holloway and his staff. Besides his Olympic golds, Taylor is a 4-time world champion in the triple jump. He's the greatest triple jumper of his generation. He is one of the greatest in the event's history. And he now has another achievement to add to his long list: UF Athletics Hall of Famer.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Christian Taylor, everybody. So how does one even get started with a triple jump? Like, what's that process?
Well, first, good night. Thank you, everyone, for having me. To be a triple jumper, it's a lot of trial and error. I was really, my bread and butter, my love was actually soccer.
Okay.
Had a humbling conversation with my parents at the age of 16, 17, when they said that my passion was greater than my skill. And they weren't willing to pay for college. I was too talented for them to pay for that. I need to get a scholarship doing something. So I did track and field. Like I said, with trial and error, I tried to be like Jeff Demps. Wasn't fast enough. Tried to do cross country. Got to the woods and realized this is too far for me.
Too far, yeah.
And then I found out about the jumps, and I thought I can jump in a sandbox for a living. I mean, and then best tie good at Florida. I mean, it was just a perfect match, and I became a triple jumper.
Yeah, pretty awesome. And you're the Gatorade National Person of the Year in Georgia. What made it an appeal to come down and leave that state and get down here?
It's tough, right? These borders are strong, and but maybe that was a seed, right? Like
That's
Gatorade
right.
Player of the Year.
There you go.
Because we're in Atlanta, there's a stronger pull towards tech than it was to UGA. I did my visits and did a lot of partying. You know, I had really nice hosts. But I actually came to Florida, and it was the weekend after homecoming, believe it or not. And, you know, I came to Gainesville, and I thought, wow, there's nothing here, right? Like, I went to USC, and I saw LA, and I went to all these schools, and everyone was showing me. And I came to Gainesville, and I was like, what do you guys do, right? And they said, oh, we go to Orlando, we go to Jacksonville. Yeah, but what do you do in Gainesville? We go to the lake, you know, and I thought, Gainesville? So I go home and I tell my parents, yeah, I don't know. I did a lot of partying at the other schools. Maybe that's the place for me. And they said, no, Florida's the place for you. Okay, I'm going to be a student athlete, so I'm definitely going to be good at my academics, because what else am I going to do?
That's right. So they didn't show you the grog then on your recruiting trip?
No, believe it or not. I mean, I came in 2008, and that's when it was voted the #1 party school of the nation. And so I got out grog very quickly.
Well, and obviously you became very quickly an affinity for the University of Florida and all the great things you did here. You get to the national scene. Now, I remember, you know, watching you. You had the sweetest, like, Gator cleats, man. Those things were awesome. I thought Chandler's shoe game was good, but where'd you get those things?
Yeah, the thing is, I really feel like, I mean, I guess everyone says that, right? The cliche, we bleed orange and blue.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is being with the Nike school, formerly now Jordan school, I think they just found out about that passion. And I believe that if you look good, you perform well. And if I had the best spikes, probably my competitors are going to be looking at my shoes instead of looking at me. Believe it or not, even at the professional stage, I still get comments about my shoes. And it just continued to grow. And so it started with me just getting a Sharpie and putting stuff on. And then Mouse pulled me to the side and said, look, we're the University of Florida. You don't have to do that. Took care of me. And then, when I got professional, you know, I spoke to Nike and I just told them, look, if we can get, I'm a big football fan, right? So I said, whatever the football team is wearing, if you can match their uniform, that would be awesome. Unfortunately, we're in different seasons, right? And so after their season, I would just get all the mock-ups of their uniforms, and then Nike would just laser put it on the spikes, and so I would still be repping the football team, throughout the season. It was really special.
Awesome. And I know Mouse is special to you too. You mentioned him. Just what influence did he have on you to get you started and then advance you to as far as you got?
Yeah, obviously Mouse has been the leader of the ship, right? And so Notorious, there was a lot of fear at the beginning. He came to the house and recruited and, told my parents that I was not going to go and just be a great athlete, right? He was going to go and make a scholar. I was going to basically come out to be a gentleman. And my parents said, okay, we feel comfortable with that. But also, Coach Welty, Matt Delancey, there were some staples that have been here and still here that continue to keep that spirit, have created the culture from the beginning that has been a winning culture, and we've had numerous championships after that. But I just think when you have strong leadership and then you can get athletes to really buy in, it's hard not to win.
You've won individual stuff, of course, here, and team stuff. When you think about that team stuff, and I know obviously you're going to put a lot of pressure on yourself and do everything, but to know that every single person worked just as hard and got it all together to win that team title, how cool was that?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So when we had our meetings, we always went in saying we're capable of being the number one school. We were ranked number one with the recruiting class. Again, Jeff and I came in at the same time, and so we had these star athletes, these 5-star athletes. We were predicted to be the best, but somehow, you could always fall short. Somebody could just miss a false start. Anything can happen in track and field. So we knew what we were capable of, but it was all back to belief. We have to believe in one another. We have to believe that I'm going to go and do what I'm recruited to do and what I'm here for, and you're going to do your part. And we're an individual team sport, and that's really special. But to be a part of the first national championship team here, we ended up back at Grog, after to celebrate. But, it's special.
It had to be special, too. I mean, you've been everywhere in the world. Like, I get excited when we play Vandy because I get to go see Nashville. And you've gone to China. I mean, it's just everywhere. You probably, do you keep track of all those places?
Yeah, believe it or not, actually, my grandma actually just came to Austria with us 2 weeks ago. And when I was going through passport control, the officer was like, you need a break. You got too many stamps. But, I mean, for me, this sport has actually brought me my wife. So my wife is here. I know we'll do shout-outs later. But,
no, you're good.
We met in actually South Korea. At a world championship, and she's in Austria, but if it wasn't for the sport, I wouldn't have traveled and got to meet her. So, that's one of the greatest gifts of my life. And I'm just so fortunate for the doors that the sport has opened and really what God has been able to take somebody from Fayetteville, Georgia, and really help me share my testimony around the world.
Keep shouting everybody else out since you already started.
So very quick, I could be...
Take your time.
Table 18, table 31, from back to front. Camp Fees from Jacksonville, surviving Hurricane Ian. Love you guys. From New York, my advisor, taking care of me from the beginning, helping me for my retirement plan also, because I know you've been asking a lot about that. The Taskers, family, friends. Of course, Coach Welty, I gave shout out. My parents, my grandma, 38 years strong. My sister, my uncle, Aunt Kathy, from California, and Uncle Ozzie, Aunt Esme. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you all. Was Michelle lying about the box for the medal? Are they pretty cool?
Yeah, Rio was really special. Obviously London, I slept with the box at London because I just couldn't believe it. 1 hour, my life changed, and so that was really, really special. But it's something that you just cannot explain. We get beautiful rings and ribbons and all these things. But when you get on top of that medal stand, you hear the national anthem, you receive that box, and then you say, hey, thanks for representing your country. It's almost no greater feeling until tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Well, and it had to be a cool feeling too, getting to do Mr. Two Bets a couple years ago. Did you give Chandler any?
If I could give him a tip, I would just say, just similar to tonight, there's a little echo, right? So he's going to blow the whistle, he's going to get the crowd pumping, but there is a big delay when 90,000 people are saying it. So just be patient, feel the energy. But I know he'll nail it, just like that shot.
Well, you've nailed everything that you've done. Glad you made the smart decision to not play soccer, because we don't have men's soccer here. We have a heck of a track team, and you're one of the best to ever do it. Congrats, Hall of Famer.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.